Alright everyone, let's do some summons for the fusion. So, Summer Rush is still on. I kind of lagged it. I only have 2 more hours to go. We will go all the way to the Epic, probably maybe even the Legendary book. So that's what we're looking at 12, 13 Sacred Shards. Don't even remember exactly what's for Voids. Let's see if anything good. Not convinced. Actually, this guy... Was this guy decent? So, attacks one enemy 2 times. Heals by 5% of this champion's max HP. Fill turn meter by 10%, only one ally. Removes all buffs from all enemies, so it's buff strip. 100% chance booked for block buffs and decrease speed. That's good for Hydra. And it's on a 3-turn cooldown. Increase resist, perfect veil for all allies. Decrease cooldown for all active skills except for this champion by 3 turns. Okay, so it is skill reduction. Might be good for Chimera because of the increased resist, and then you can combine them with you can combine him with Mr. Marius, and he's gonna have increased accuracy. So you have increased accuracy, increased resistance, and that's one of the Chimera challenges. All right. Well, let's see. I normally normally I would recommend everybody to go for Feral because he increases the damage of your allies. So allies under 4 or more buffs increases damage by 20%. 3 buffs or more increases accuracy by 50. 2 buffs increases resistance by 50. You can also put him in Feral, or you can put him in Protection set, which will definitely also increase. He does put 2 buffs, and he does put 2 debuffs. So plus decreased speed, so potentially 3 debuffs. So either one of those 2 damage boosting sets would work. I do have one on this account. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the demon spawn guy. Let's see. Good luck to you guys. Let's see what we can get. So we said 12. Well, let's see. We'll pull maybe we'll pull 10, and we'll reevaluate then. Maybe we'll do some voids. Okay, epic. Jotun. Another epic. Giscard is the provoke guy. Another epic. Basilisk. Yeah, this was the lizard that can go pretty well on a stun set. Attacks all enemies. Puts the small version of increased attack on him. Places a stun on one enemy, and he also revives himself with block damage for 1 turn. It is on a 6-turn cooldown, but for a passive for an epic is not really bad. It's pretty good actually. Ambassador Lethalin, if I remember correctly, this guy had a taunt. Let's see, so 8-3 is not it. Increases the duration of 2 random debuffs, heals by an additional taunt and reflect damage. There you go. Taunt on a target ally for 2 turns, and then reflect damage on all allies for 2 turns by 30%. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. Not terrible. The Shada, don't use her much or at all, to be honest. Skull Crusher. Skull Crusher is one of the OGs epic champions that had counterattack. I used to use this guy a lot on Clan Boss. He's still viable. There's still compositions that can use him, and still one key Ultra Nightmare with decent gear. So yeah, he was one of the guys that put counterattack on all allies, and that was for 2 turns. Actually, no, wait. Counterattack for 1 turn, so it increased your damage. Chonoru. Rockbreaker. This guy has a pretty cool passive. Has 25% chance to decrease damage inflicted by 50% each time this guy is attacked, and it goes up to 50% chance to decrease damage by 50%, and he is defense based. He's an epic. He also places provoke and places counter attack, places provoke 100% on A2 and counter attack for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, and increases his defense by 4% every single time that he uses A1, when he will use A1 because he places provoke on other people and he counterattacks, and he will stack up to 20%. So he was a hard epic to kill. Give me one quick second. Let's take a look at where we're at. Okay, so we have the rare. We're at 4,000. We're looking for 6. So 4 more shards, roughly. How much were the voids? I'm sorry. Let's take a look. Voids 120. If I do 10. Yeah, we'll just do the sacreds. Trombor, epic defense, pretty good if I remember correctly. 40% to put weaken, attacking 2 times. Second hit also has a chance to put leech, not too bad. Attacks all enemies, removes 1 debuff from all allies before attacking. Damage increased by 5% for each debuff removed. So it does do a little bit of debuff removal from your allies, and does attack all enemies. Puts ally protection and increase defense on this champion, and the passive was 40% to decrease the duration of all debuffs on this champion whenever he gets attacked. So pretty tanky, and he is defense based. Oh. Okay, Matthias Black Flail. He's slightly newer, and I remember his design was really cool. I really like this shield. Look at the detail on this shield. The chain. Yeah, his design is really cool. The bluish black armor. All right, let's take a look at what he got. So A1, 3 times, 30% chance to remove 1 buff from the target, heals by 20% of damage inflicted, and actually increases to 40% chance. So if he attacks 3 times, if the enemy has 1 buff, there's a very good chance that he will remove it, and probably can remove even 2 buffs. And if he gets lucky, 3 buffs from an enemy, as long as they're not protected. Attacks all enemies, places an extra hit on enemies with no buffs. Extra hit will ignore 20% of the target's defense. Also heals all allies by 20% of damage inflicted. So it does have some healing there. This is on a 3-turn cooldown. Increase resistance and places reflect damage. Also places taunt for 2 turns, and this is on a 4-turn cooldown. Interesting. He might play a role in the hard faction wars for sure. Okay, counterattacks with Darken the Sky when hit while under taunt. And Darken the Sky is... well, that's his A1. I don't get it. Oh, okay, because technically he does not have a counterattack, so he does counterattack every single time when he gets hit. Okay, so passive. That's cool. Alright. Not too bad. Alright, well, at least we got one. We got one Lego, and it's not a ×2 sacred, so that's 1 in 10. Not great, not bad at all. Alright, 2 more. Back to back. Oh, nope. Alright, Rearguard Sergeant, fantastic ally protection and healing champ. We'll carry you through Faction Wars if you're still working on that. Alright, one last epic, Adriel. Alright, let's take a look. I think we have room for 1 Void Shard. Yep. Ooh, should we do one more? One more. Or are we doing... we'll do 5 voids. We'll do 5 voids. 5 voids. We will do 5 voids. Alright. Let's see. 1. Dagger. 2. Cage bound. Decent rares, by the way. Doom Screech, another really decent rare. Increased defense, yeah. Ifrit, his food. And Interceptor. Alright, so there you go. This is it for one of the accounts. Let's jump on the other one. Alright, so on this account I have quite a few more sacreds. Let's make sure... oh, we don't have room, so let's make some room really quick and I'll be right back. Alright, so let's do the same thing. We'll do the demon because I do have Furol, and we'll do that. Alright, so we'll try the same thing. Let's do 10 first. Alright, Elfrig, one of the Mikage epics. Vergus. Not using him on this account, but on the other account I think I'm still using him for the Scarab. I do have Euros, but I think I'm still using Vergus. There you go, Phoenix. Fantastic damage epic, by the way, especially on that A1 with block revive. Arndulf, really cool armor that he has, especially the shield with the horse. The horse motif is really cool. You know, you have to admire the artwork for sure. Relic Keeper, your old school permanent epic fusion. Good way to make points. Old Hermit Jorg, good reviver for Faction Wars to boot. Does also provide with ooh, Ishiyama the Immovable. This is the last fusion. Okay, cool. All right, I haven't pulled him. I do have him. Fragment. Where are you? Right here. So I could now, let's see, how are we doing on the faction guards for Shadowkin? They'll give me +10 for defense. All right, really cool. I guess we should go over his kit really quick. So on A1 attacks an enemy 2 times, transfers a random debuff from this champion to the target. If the champion is under any debuffs, one attack counterattacks with this skill. So that's cool. Also, he has a counterattack mechanic. A2, on a 3-turn cooldown, once booked, he has a 100% chance to place Fear, 25% decreased crit damage, and 30% decreased crit rate on all enemies for 2 turns. So it's a Fear for 2 turns. And the debuff cannot be resisted by enemies who are already under 2 or more debuffs. So if you do use him with a different debuffer, provided that he is a sheep magnet, but he would place these without the need for accuracy. A3 attacks one enemy will ignore 25% of defense. If the target is under 2 or more debuffs, he will ignore 50% of defense instead, and this is on a 3-turn cooldown. Places block damage on this champion for 2 turns if he kills an enemy. Now his passive is really cool. Whenever an enemy resists a debuff attempt from this champion, next debuff placed by this champion cannot be resisted. So if you are attempting your A2 and it doesn't land, the second time that he tries it, then that will be irresistible debuff placement. Each debuff placed by this champion also increases his max HP by 3% and stacks up to 30%. That's pretty cool. HP in all battles by 28%, which is not fantastic. There are better auras out there, but this is pretty darn good. Alright, so I'm excited to get him. I'm gonna increase my faction guards. That's always a good thing. Alright, cool. Alright, now we also have 20% chance to... a 20x chance. A 20% chance. That's nonsense. Visionary. Oh, good epic. Anchorite. Attacks all enemies. Heals by 10%. Removes 1 random debuff from all allies. Increases duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. So he could have been used in that infinite that we used to use for clan boss. Fully heals, then places increased crit rate, increased crit damage on all allies for 2 turns, and this is on a 4-turn cooldown. And his aura, HP in all battles by 25%. That's what I was saying, 20% HP in all battles for the Lego. Not that great, but pretty decent. Luria, pretty decent damage dealer. Let me see if I remember correctly. Decreased defense, heal reduction, decreased speed, but it's random. Okay, it does have a 75% chance to place it on a A1, which is not bad. Attacks all enemies, 50% chance of placing freeze. Enemies killed by this skill, which is a 4-turn cooldown, cannot be revived. So it does have a block revive. And only 75% chance to place freeze. Not great. Removes all buffs. And it does have a 100% chance to place block buffs. And this is attacks only 1 enemy, and it's a 5-turn cooldown. So her cooldowns are really high. She can hit pretty decently, but long cooldowns. Kunoichi. See, I think I'm at 10 shards now. Doom Priest, fantastic epic for this passive that she removes 1 random debuff at the start of the champion's turn. Okay, all those offers that I'm not buying. Okay. Alright, let's do exactly the same thing. We'll do 5 voids. Five voids. Then it was one of the rares for ooh. Guess we have to clean up. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. 4 more. Veteran. Huntress. Interceptor. Last one. Epic. Verigrain Suncursed. Don't remember what he does. Attacks twice. One enemy, 50% chance to steal a buff. One enemy 3 times. Each hit will now shield. Through fear on all enemies. If he kills someone, unkillable for 1 turn. So unkillable and through fear. Okay. Swaps HP with an enemy, then grants an extra turn. So he can swap HP with an enemy, then kill them, places True Fear on everybody, and places Unkillable on himself. It's not too bad. 5 turns cooldown though on the HP swaps, and 3 turns cooldown on killing someone. And he does deal 30% more damage against targets whose HP is lower than this champion's HP. Has a damage boost. Okay, alright, well, interesting. We did get 1 Lego on each of the accounts. Not complaining. Wait, did we? Did we get an epic? Did we get a... I don't think we got a Lego on this one. Did we? I'm sorry. Nope. No Lego here, right? Okay. Well, that increases our mercy. That's all for tonight. Subscribe, like it, make some comments, and I'll respond to all of you. Guys, have a good one. Bye.